Hey everybody, 47 Mark IV here, bringing you an update on me. You know, I got a lot of comments recently that was, hey, I hope things went well. Praying for me through the surgery. Hope you're feeling okay. And that got me thinking that, I need to do something. And, I post stuff to Twitter all the time, but I got a pretty good comment when I posted it to Twitter last night, maybe it was the night before, of, hey, do you think I should do, kind of a selfie vlog, webcam update kind of thing? And the comments were, I'd like to hear it come out of you directly. Okay, that's fair. So, here we are. Now, I can't use my regular gaming computer. I can't use my good recording mic. It's just the position to sit in that chair to get to all of that stuff is beyond me at the moment. So we're doing the best we can, yelling at the webcam mic using my wife's laptop, which I forgot was actually a pretty good laptop. I'm liking it quite a bit. I might be borrowing it in the future. Just saying. But anyway, so, small quality differences, that's why, right? We're doing the best we can with what we've got. Two things. One, how am I doing? I'm okay. I'm doing all right, actually. I'm healing from major surgery, and, pain levels coming down, healing is happening. I'm getting stronger. My general pain level is... I don't want to say it's better because, there's a thing this big in the side of me, right? But it's different. It's very different, and that's okay. And I'll go through that a little bit. But, day by day, step by step, right? I've got good hope that this is going to be the thing, that I'm going to get better. So, for everybody who is worrying, I'm all right. Wife is doing a wonderful job taking care of me. The cats are, not leaving me alone, and they're getting an enormous amount of pets. Kiddo is having a great time, getting to see Daddy anytime he wants. I got the mother-in-law here helping out, and she's being tons and tons of help, so everything's good. And so the other thing I want to tell you is, for those who don't know, let me tell you what the last week has been like. So last Wednesday, I went into the hospital, and it was about 10 o'clock in the morning. They had moved up my surgery. And so I was there earlier than I had expected to be, and I was freaking out. This isn't a standard hip replacement. There's more stuff going on. And I've got some, other issues that complicate it. And so we had previously discussed percentages of failure. And I mean the serious kind of failure. And I was trying not to let that drive me crazy. Because I've gotten to the point where this stuff hurt so bad that it was worth rolling the dice. And it wasn't a big roll, right? I mean, we're talking, the onesie twosies kind of thing. But if you have kids, onesie twosies are an enormous amount. So I was freaked out. Did everything I could to hold on to it and to stay firm in the decision that this was the right thing to do, to get this fixed, right? And luckily, the hospital admission part of getting in and getting checked in and all of the vitals and blah, 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 all the medical stuff leading up to surgery, excellent. They did a fantastic job, right? I was busy. And being busy made me feel better. And then we got to go back for anesthesia. And I got a block in my spine. And I remember all kinds of people doing all kinds of stuff around me. And I felt like I wasn't in the operating room because there was too much stuff. but maybe I was. I'm not really sure. Because by that time, I'd already gotten a sedative in the IV and everything was already kind of okay. And then the guy started poking around on my back, and I was telling him a story about something. And then I woke up in the recovery room. So, no memory through the surgery, don't remember any sounds, cool, right? That's what we're going for. I don't want to know nothing about what happened. Woke up in recovery, wasn't sick, and didn't hurt at all. And I remember the lady clearly saying the word fentanyl, and that's an enormously powerful opiate. But it took me about 2 hours in recovery to feel well enough to have feeling get back to where I could wiggle my toes. It must be sided, because I couldn't move either foot, but I definitely couldn't move my right foot. Like the toes were able to wiggle in the left one a little bit. So a couple hours went by. They updated my wife. She was waiting in the recovery room. And then they transferred me across the hospital into an actual admitted hospital room. And it was nice. And I met my wife up there, and, we started right into it. And then I spent 2 days there in recovery, and for the most part, it was good. I saw the doc, and I got to ask him questions. And, my very first question is, what did you see, and did you get it all? And he's like, yeah, we got all the disease out of your joint. He's like, that's all gone. We cut it all out. He's like, have I seen worse? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. He goes, but was it time? Yeah, it was. Okay, cool. I feel better, right? Because you always doubt yourself, like, is this real? Well, it was really real. So, saw him, and then we started the rotation of nurses. And this is where things broke down. So, because I had been living with pain for so long, my opiate tolerance was already really high. Like, oxycodone is Tic Tacs, right? Don't notice them. They're just not a thing. And as that block wore off, the pain started settling in. And I started to hurt. And I started to hurt a lot. And I kept pushing that button of, hey, I need pain help. And what they do is they give you something, right? If it's oral, they'll give it to you and then they make you wait an hour. So, when I hit a 5, I pushed the button and they came and they brought me some hydrocodone, which is less than nothing for me. And I tried telling them, listen, I'm a professional opiate taker. I've been on pain management for a long time. I need better. But the downside to pain control is you have to start over with everybody. No one believes you because of the epidemic. And I get that to a point, but I have pretty easily verifiable records. And so I took it, and about half an hour later, I'm pushing the button saying, hey, it still hurts. And got told, hey, you got to wait, and pushed the button again at an hour. And we went and took more. We moved up to oxycodone and had to wait an hour. And I'm pushing the button all the way through. And then I swapped nurses. And I swapped nurses about every 4 hours. I think I hit the perfect 2 days in their schedule in which, I just kept changing crews. And I was in the worst possible room. I was all the way at the end of the hallway past the elevators. So it's not like anybody was walking by my room, right? So when the new one came on, I was probably up at a 7, maybe, at pain scale, and still climbing. And I had to tell her, I'm like, please, I need better drugs. Please help me. And, she gave me some more oxycodone. And then we started getting up into the 8s and 9s. And I cry at an 8 and I sob at a 9. And I got up to a 9, and she called down to the emergency room because this time now it's, I don't know, it was probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. And so they moved me up to Dilaudid. And never taken that one before. Didn't think it was amazing, right? And that brought me back down to like a 7. Just on the edge of tolerable. And we went through this cycle of I woke up, I got through the night, I woke up in the morning. First thing I did is I saw the doc and I complained to him about pain. I said I was in pain last night and it wasn't reasonable. I know I'm supposed to be, but this isn't okay. And, he went and talked to people and suddenly service improved. And they came in and asked me if I would like a morphine hit. And yes, I would. Put it right in the back of this hand, please. And that stuff, fantastic. I can see why people have a problem with it. But it took me from a 7 down to a 5. 5 is cool. I can do 5 all day. I'm sitting at more than a 5 right now, right? So 5 was all right. Haven't seen any number lower than that in a couple of years. And then, then we got up to, we'd stay on the Dilaudid. She bumped me with morphine, I don't know, like twice maybe. And then come that night, we swapped people. And I tried telling the incoming person what had happened. And, we were off to the races again. And we were climbing. And, I hit a rock solid 10. I called my wife to help me because I'd sent her home, and I called her to come help me, and I was curled up, sweating, sobbing, almost hurt to touch. And it took them a while to get enough drugs in me again to bring me back down. And the next morning, I see the doc, and I rip his head clean off his body about pain control. I was so angry over how do you let this happen to somebody? And, from their perspective, they're looking at it going, we're already giving you more than what we normally would give somebody. They're like, you don't remember it, but at some point in time, you were on hydrocodone, oxycodone, Dilaudid, and morphine. He goes, we were combining them all up. He said, but your tolerance is making you hard to judge because, we can't overshoot too far, and I guess they call it snow you. They don't want to kill me. Okay, cool, thanks, right? But if we know it's a problem, let's have a little bit more personal attention. So then we met with the anesthesiologist and came up with a plan. And it was some numbing patches for my surgical incision, which doesn't really hurt that much. It's a cut, and I know it's a cut, but it's not terrible. It's where the parts are inside. And I wish I had something around to show you, but, they literally, when they bolted on my new hip, they literally had the hole in the pelvis and had to pop and get that thing in there. And it's a press-fit joint. And, you crack little things, and that part hurts. And plus, when they put the new top on the bone, they have to hammer it on. I'll spare you the details. Not pleasant. So it's, I'm going to hurt. So we come up with this plan, right? Let's take care of the incision. Let's go back on to some of the drugs I was taking before, my all-day control regimen, and let's increase that because I had an all-day regimen and I also had short-acting items to help catch up. So as things were rising, I could bring them back down and just stay level. And that was okay. And that worked. And it took 2 days, but I got back down to a 5 and was able to do things. I was able to do my therapy, and I went for the walk, and I actually went for several walks. And I went for training. So while I was there, the physical therapist in the hospital came out to the room and showed me how to do things I would need to do when I got home. Because I had to climb stairs. I have 3 stairs from my garage into my kitchen. And then I have 13 stairs to get from the first floor to the second floor. And I haven't left the second floor since. I could go down the stairs, I don't want to. There's nothing on the first floor I need. Everything up here is cool, right? I've got a decent rooms to be in. I've got a good hallway to walk in. And I'll show you what my current walking is like. I've got the tools. I'm getting there. And it looks ugly, but you know what? Better than it was. I'll tell you that. And it'll be better next week, too. So they trained me on that stuff. They trained me on how to get in and out of the car, how to get in and out of the shower, how to get on and off the toilet. Stuff that I knew I was going to have to do, but I didn't know. How to get in and out of the bed. And of course, all the things I can and can't do to keep my new joint safe, because they're afraid of it being accidentally dislocated as my body heals and holds on to that new joint better. Great with PT. And I'm having PT in the house now. They send a physical therapist out to the house, and the physical therapist helps me quite a bit. Every time he leaves, I feel better afterward, feel stronger. And he shows me more exercises, and it's forcing my body to relax and let go of all of the tension. Because they don't like cut all the way through. They cut through the skin, and then they move the muscles apart. And now everything has to come back together, right? And that's where PT is really helpful. And I'm doing all of it. I'm doing the stuff at home and the stuff, I'm doing it all at home, but, I'm doing the stuff with the guy and I'm doing the stuff when he's not here, right? You have to do the work. And then beyond that, I'm getting better. I can, I've been in the shower, which is fantastic. My wife's doing a great job of keeping me, hydrated and fed and on my regimen of meds. Tomorrow I get to take the bandage off, and then in another week I'm going to get the staples out, and probably my next evaluation for how much more therapy I need, and regardless, I'm going to ask for more therapy. I want as much as they'll give me. I want to burn up the insurance this year. Please let me walk, right? But I'm hoping that by the time I go, and get the staples out next week, I'll transition from my walker to a cane. And, I'm pro at cane. That'll be nice to be able to get back to that. The walker's helping me. It's not a lot of fun. So that's kind of where we are. Every day, I'm getting up and trying to find something to go and do. And I am starting to look at building a mod pack. I've got some ideas. I'm throwing things together at the moment, seeing how stuff is. I've set up the laptop enough that it can kind of play Foolcraft, but I'm not really playing that one because I didn't want to get too far ahead. But I'm catching up on my other YouTube watching and all my reading, and I was in a prime spot for Amazon Prime Day, right? I didn't miss any of the deals because I could just sit and watch them come through because, hey, what else am I going to do? So that's kind of it. But, sorry I rambled on for so long, but I did want to tell you my story, let you know everything's okay. Hopefully I can overlay some stuff and show you the equipment that I've got and how things are going. But that's about it. I just wanted to, communicate back to everybody that surgery part is good. Joint feels great. It's hopefully going to serve me very well, and I'm feeling very positive about the day over day improvement that I'm seeing. And, while I had a rough go in the hospital, things happen, right? Now, when they call me, I am going to do something about it, but I'm just saying, is if I had to suffer for 2 days to get this, I'd take it still. So that's still the plan, is I'm still recovering. I require an awful lot of rest and a lot of sitting down and, many naps a day, but I'm feeling better, and we're on the climb up. So, I hope you enjoy the pre-recorded episodes. I feel good that we were able to do that and leave you with something. I so desperately want to tell you, like, oh, wait till the next one comes out, but I also don't want to ruin the surprise. So, I hope you enjoy that, and thank you, by the way, to everybody who left comments and likes and messages, and it was great to wake up to that level of support.